So today we're going to talk about how much do architects make. This is information I wish I would have had before I even chose the profession of architecture, and I just didn't realize how many resources there are to see what they actually make. I was always told that architects are middle class, they don't make that much money, but I didn't realize how true that was. But let's go into it. So first off, to start off, what I'm going to be using is the AIA Compensation Survey Calculator. And this is the website for it. I'll have it in the description. And this data is from 2021. And so what this is the AIA is the Architectural Institute of Architects or something, association of something, I forget what it is. But it's an organization that has all the architects. And what they did is they gathered the, self-reporting people. I remember getting an email or something that in the profession you were supposed to mark how much you get for compensation. And so they compiled it, they put it all together, and they put it on this website. The only thing is, it's from 2021. This is before all of this inflation. And so if inflation is at in these last 2 years gone up 20%, I would say these salaries we'd have to add maybe 5 to 7%. And it's maybe closer to what people are actually getting paid right now. Okay, so once you go to that website, it's going to have a list of roles, and basically these are it here. You have the kind of more administration, kind of owners and principals towards the top, and then you have kind of the workforce in the bottom. I've separated it in kind of 4 categories, and then this hidden line means that it's kind of the connection to each is not as strong, as opposed to this is kind of like seniority, and then this is kind of like not seniority, everyone else. But you can see down here, it's where most of us are. It's just like architectural staff, and then recent college grad. And then once you get 10 years of experience or more, you get senior architect and senior project designer and project manager, and then later on the owners and principals. So you have the board, admin, managers, and workforce. So how do you determine this? In that AIA website, there's a description for each role. And in interviews, when I've had interviews in architectural firms, they specifically look at the years worked. And so experience comes to be the utmost important indicator of what the firm will put you as. And I will say this is that it is a company, so they're going to try to mark you as low as you can. I remember in an interview, the interviewer was claiming that my experience did not count because her firm was they would do schools, and all I had known was institutional. And so the game there is one that you'll have to kind of play by ear. But as you can see here, you have when you graduate. Now I would say look for a job out of high school, because we're about to look at the salaries, and I think it's a good job out of high school, but definitely not a master's degree graduate. But I digress. So you have here, and then this is what I kind of believe it kind of goes as, is that first 6 or 7 years, you're basically just working staff. They're going to be careful with the types of responsibilities you get, and you will more than likely have a supervisor. And kind of, depending on what firm you're in, you may have more or less responsibility. But then once you kind of get 8 to 10 years of experience, you can start getting much more responsibility. And then once you pass that, you become maybe more administrative. Maybe you're taking on some younger staff and kind of directing and leading projects, coordinating with consultants, whatnot. And then I haven't reached this yet, but as far as I can see, the board members and the senior people, they've been there for a very long time. They've been in the industry for a very long time, and they have relationships to bring in money to these firms. So now, right into the money. So according to this website, in 2021, the recent graduate in the lowest percentile, 25 percentile, is making $47,000 a month. This top right here is Utah or mountain region, which I guess includes places like Colorado and Denver as well. And then this is the national average down here. And so you can see here, you have 47,000, 54,000, and then there's a 75th percentile that for whatever reason they didn't show. Now, I will say this. When you go for an interview, the people of that company are using this information to make you an offer. And so in my brain, when I thought that, I was like, okay, well, I'm pretty good at my job. I probably will get somewhere in the 50th percentile, right? This is going to be my number. No. They look at this number, and that is your base pay right there, right here on this side. So just keep that in mind. And it's all about marketing. It's all about selling yourself. Now, this additional cash, oh, my light just went off. This additional cash, I don't know that it's always accurate. Some firms, they give a lot of bonuses, some don't. I know here in Utah, if you're getting $1,000 bonus, like, that's nice, but I don't think that happens very rarely. And then you have down here architectural staff. So this is maybe someone a little bit more experienced, maybe 1 to 2 years. And as you can tell, the compensation is slightly higher than your recent graduate. So coming in at $52,000 a year. Okay, now this slide, because I'm not going to go through every role, but this slide I want to show because not everyone is licensed. So in architecture, there's a lot of people that go through grad school, they finish school, or maybe they don't even go to school, but they have lots of experience. And so I just want to show you the difference between a licensed professional and a non-licensed professional. So as you can see here at the top, it's architect level 3, which is probably, well, I think it was like 8 to 10 years of experience, maybe more. And they're licensed, and they're coming in at, in Utah, $77,000 a year. National average is $80,000 a year. That's licensed. And architect level 3 non-licensed is coming in at $66,000 a year, and national $73,000. Now, so that is a difference of $7,000. I don't know. I don't know about that. Like, I don't know how to feel about that. I will say that to become licensed, you have to get a master's degree, meaning you go to grad school, which is differential tuition, which is extremely expensive. And on top of that, when taking the tests, I think it was $225 a test, and there's 6 tests, and you fail, their pass rate's about 50%. So if I think personally I failed a lot of tests, PDD and DDD, and so I think it came out to like $2,000 total for just tests, and then plus you add on study material, I think it added up to about $5,000, $6,000 plus or minus. Now I bought study materials. I know a lot of my friends don't, but I just struggle to study, so I had to. Amber book, I recommend it. I'm gonna go into study materials maybe another time, but as you can see, licensed versus not licensed, not a big difference. Not a big difference. And in a firm, you typically don't even use your license. So I don't know. It's just something to really consider. That do you even go to grad school for an extra $7,000? Because at the end of the day, it's more about your experience anyway, not so much licensure. Sad reality, but there you go. Okay, and then just kind of this one, just to see. This is a CEO principle according to this website. So you have everyone, or national average, 110,000. This one I'd actually probably look closer to the median in the 75th percentile. And then in Utah, this is the amount. Now, that being said, in firms that I've been at, these principals aren't getting paid only salary. Sometimes you're getting stock options. They have other benefits where compensation is enhanced. So I don't know that this is 100% accurate, but just something to consider. Man, 33,000 bonus. That'd be nice. Okay, so now to end on a side note, there is a push for people that are trained in architecture to get out of architecture. When looking at these salaries, maybe it's just, hey, I don't want that. I want more. And there's this book written by Aaron Pellegrino and Jake Rudin. I can't say I love the book, but they sell this kind of thing that you could purchase, that if you're a trained architect, you can advertise yourself and try to get a, architecture adjacent jobs. So I have this person here, Tinker Hatfield, who I guess was a trained architect and decided that he was going to go into shoe design, and so he became Nike's shoe designer. And so it's just to say, let's say that you're graduating architecture school, you have your bachelor's degree. It's not to say you have to stick to those salaries we just looked at. Um, there are other options. It's just about selling yourself, and this book is an interesting introduction to that. Now, am I saying that that's what you should do? Maybe, maybe. But I think educate yourself definitely on the compensation of architects. And not to mention student loans. If you take out student loans, those salaries become very, very tiny. But uh, that's basically it. I just wanted to show you that. Feel free to comment any questions, any thoughts, but then also take a look at that website. And next in your next interview, make sure you research that and promote yourself in such a way where you can get higher salaries than those minimums. But thanks again. Thank you for watching. Bye.